Hey guys, I want to give you a little bit of update to the portfolio. So, first of all, the portfolio, for anybody who doesn't know it, is a paper portfolio of 100,000, and it's performing quite well except for Naka. But the average for Naka is 3.3 that I have, and I think it found its bottom right now because it's close to where basically the Bitcoin value is of their holdings. And so I have a good feeling that we'll see the portfolio in the near future go up very quickly. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is Surf Air Mobility today, which is a part of the portfolio. So I think in about 3 years they will become profitable, and there's something interesting about this. First of all, they're not worth that much. There's like 100 million market cap or something like that. And one of the interesting things is their major stockholder is Palantir. And Palantir is also, they launched this year in June, July, they launched the Surf OS platform. And one of the interesting things is they don't just transport humans, but they also do transportation, of course, by aligning basically several stakeholders in a deal for basically air transportation. They kind of hook all of these four people up and all the parties, and then they can make the deal happen, kind of. So they're trying to basically I don't know if it revolutionize, but modernize basically the near short-term travels from one airport to the next, for example, for transportation or humans, and human transportation or transport for logistics. So, and one of the things is that they want to do is they have like 3 business areas, and one of these areas is basically Surf OS, which allows this matching up of these various interests and try to reduce the costs and manage, inventory of the aircraft and so forth. And the second one is electrifying a lot of these aircrafts, and the electric aircrafts do have possibilities that others don't. For example, they need shorter runways and a couple of other things and so forth. And so they are planning to use new electric aircrafts to basically expand their routes. And so that's why they in 2027 or 2028, I think it was 2027, they expect a huge dump to over 200 million in revenue, so like 250 million in revenues, whereas right now they're like at 100 something. And so that will be a huge jump. And I think what will happen, and this is why, and I think, so I feel it's a stock that no one is talking about yet, because they're still losing a lot of money and they're putting their, eggs in the baskets. And I think that if they pull it off, what I think they will be doing is, I think they will try to revolutionize the transportation market for logistics in the US with Palantir technology. So basically, for example, let's say you need a package in I don't know, you're in Los Angeles and you need a package quickly in, I don't know, in Texas, whatever. I am just saying, okay? Or I don't know the regions very well in US. So, but from one region to the next, which is doable with their technology and with their aircraft, then I think they will try to maximize basically that and serve all of these routes which major airlines don't serve. So I could imagine that there is a massive opportunity in transportation logistics, and we'll probably see them grow, and Palantir is fully behind it. And even a guy from Palantir came to the board of directors of Surf Air Mobility. So of course it's a huge risk because they're losing a lot of money. And I think in my portfolio, it's you can, by the way, if you click on the TradeView link, you can see my portfolio. Let me see. I'm going to tell you what the percentage is. It's 3% of the entire portfolio. So, and the largest is 20% with Mara Holdings. The second largest is Bitcoin Group in Europe. The third largest is Naka with 16%. And then you have like Hesai Group, RoboSense, which do the LiDAR technology for robots, Riot Platforms, Bitcoin mining, TeraWolf, Bitcoin mining, Uptech Robotics, of course, 5%, Supermarket Computer at 5%. The Supermarket Computer, I'm not so 100% sure about because they announced that they're going to have a bad quarter and that most of the AI data centers build outs are going to happen in our push to 2026, which I guess is fine, but I think that what for me it's kind of a red flag in a sense because the growth is right now in AI is happening everywhere explosive. So why is their quarter looking so bad? But it's just 5% of the portfolio, and if I should see a better opportunity out there, I would probably switch. I of course don't have all the major plays because I started the portfolio too late. So I don't have the Nvidia, I don't have the Microsoft, the Googles, the anyone who's really involved in AI, like top tier. I don't have that. Now, one thing is interesting. I did a research on Innodata, and Innodata is although it's growing very quickly, has one problem because XAI is doing basically their own data structuring for the AI models, and the trend will be that the data structuring will be done in-house in the future with better AI. So Innodata type of companies will not be needed for that, although right now they are. So that's why I wouldn't pick a company like that, because the portfolio, and this is something I want to definitely say, the portfolio that I built is for not looking at it for 10 to 20 years. Okay, so that's, for example, if you take something like the Surf Air Mobility, if they get off the ground really and into positive territory, that will be massive and it will not go away. Probably will be even bought by someone else like Palantir or some DHL or something, I don't know. And so and of course there's a lot of Bitcoin holding companies in their treasury companies, because that's something you don't need to look at for like 20 or 30 years. And so the robotics, of course, if you take the largest robotics and the LiDAR technology companies, that's something you don't need to look at for 20 to 30 years. And it's gonna be in a growth industry. And 1.5% is BYD, because they're just, the Chinese EV market is just growing so fast. Of course, I have to say that to the big ones like BYD, and even if there was like Nvidia, Google, I'm already too late for them. So I try to pick some stuff which I think is sure to grow a lot the next 20 to 30 years, without having to think of how the technology shift and changes, because I think later technology will remain absolutely important. And either these companies are going to be bought out or just keep growing. Yeah, so the only one that I'm not so sure about is Supermarket Computer, but it will be interesting how they develop, because as long as they are in profitable growing territory for the next years, they have the opportunity to maneuver the business. Of course, you're gonna have a little bit of a winner takes all in AI. So the Nvidia is gonna do everything, the Tesla is gonna do everything, and they're probably gonna go 10x, another 10x over time, but it's already very high. It's probably better to wait at a point where it's, I mean, there is a new world and a new America forming. This is what they call the golden age with Donald Trump. There is a new economy forming and a new golden age coming. It's 100% clear with AI. And so, and the top players are going to take 99% of the market. And so it will be interesting to see. I wanted to check Tesla, by the way, how much it's worth right now. I think Tesla could actually be, let me see, I need to know the market share outstanding. The Google Finance changed and to a new layout, and it's horrible. I'm going back to the old one. 1.36 trillion. That's a lot. Yeah, that's already very expensive. Let me check the balance sheet. But they're making like 100 billion in revenues. Yeah, it's just too expensive. It's a 10 times sales. I would avoid this for now until it becomes cheaper again. If it becomes cheaper. But yeah, so just an update to air mobility because I wanted to talk about it because I saw an interview yesterday about it and I found it. I mean, it's a losing operation right now, and it's not clear whether they can get out of that space, but it looks positive.